Right, let's get started. I'm going to record this as well, so we'll be sharing it across all of our channels once it's finished. But yeah, thanks for joining. We want to, today's quite a big day for us really, because we've been working on this project that we're going to be launching today for the best part of 6 months. So special thanks to Marius and Ulek in particular for all their hard work. I know, Marius, you're on the call, aren't you? Can you speak?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. You're right.
Yeah, it was hard work, but it's really amazing stuff now, and yeah, you really have to be happy now that I mean it was really complicated to get all that stuff going, that everything works, but we did it so nicely, and so so we're going to look forward to the play to earn implementation.
Yeah.
It's a promising road ahead, basically.
Yeah, I agree. And what I'm hoping to do is, Marius, if you're able to, we're gonna walk through what we're trying to achieve here with this particular project and how it sits within the ecosystem. I also want to talk about how it's going to benefit everybody involved in HODL. It's not an isolated project that only benefits those who are involved in it. It's designed to have a positive impact on the entire ecosystem. So I'm going to talk about that. But Marius, it'd be great if you could also have a chat with everybody and kind of explain the innovation and the sheer work and thought that's gone into the game once I've kind of given a bit of an introduction.
Basically, it's very simple. If we look at other existing play to earn games, basically they always consisted that you have to buy some NFT or you have to buy some stuff in order to be able to play, and it mostly is always somewhat either it's a card game or it's some luck-based game, basically, or a strategy game, but there's actually never real playing skill involved. So what we're going to implement now is we are creating a system where the gemstones, they are giving you abilities, and you need those abilities in order to survive with a spaceship in a very hostile environment, and that environment is created procedurally. And the play to earn aspect comes in the fashion that you actually need to survive in order to earn. So the players which have the highest amount of skill will survive the longest, basically, and so those players will then end up at the leaderboard where you can see your rank, basically, and according to your rank you get passive rewards. And the main goal basically is to create a game ecosystem where you have all those gemstones and also other items which are released in the future, which can be traded between players. And since each ability is different, this means that every gemstone will sooner or later get a value, a price by the community. So if a ability is more powerful than another different ability, then the value of that particular gemstone which gives you that ability becomes more valuable on the market.
Yeah. And you know, the things as well, from the NFTs that we've created here, the Gem Fighter NFTs, they look awesome, but they've got this utility. So yeah, Marius, one thing I'd love you to explain. I'm just going to give an introduction to the vision and how it kind of benefits the ecosystem. But it'd be great for you to explain what procedural generation is and give some information on the game. Once I've kind of given a quick update on the vision.
Basically, procedural generation.
Just before that, though, can I just tell the guys kind of like about the vision, and then if you can kind of like take us through the game. So the first thing, I think for the people that have been involved in HODL from the beginning, HODL launched in May 2021, and like a lot of projects in DeFi, at that point in time, it was effectively just a contract that charged 10% tax, of which 3% was for B&B rewards. So it was entirely reliant on volume, and it was all about generating B&B rewards based on how much volume was flowing through that contract. Obviously, it's got a really, really strong brand name and a great community. And the concept of passive income, I think, is pretty revolutionary within this space. So that it had a lot of positives, but as a team and as a community, one of the things that we were conscious of is that just to be entirely reliant on volume is quite risky, because as the volume goes up and the rewards go up, then that's great. The pool grows and it really explodes. But equally, when it goes down, there's no incentive for people to invest to see it go back up. So we wanted to make sure that as the project develops, we introduce effectively revenue streams. Gem Fighter, the game, the play-to-earn game that we're going to be launching, and the NFT range, we believe is going to be a big part of that solution. There's well over $1 million of revenue potential within this NFT range. And really what we've done is we've created a range of NFTs which are very, very good value. The standard price of an NFT is just $35. And obviously, with them being minted on the Binance Smart Chain, the gas fees, the network fees are really low. So that's great. The model is that half of the money generated from the NFT sales goes to buying back HODL token and HODL X token. Those tokens are then distributed to the people who play the game, Gem Fighter. And then in addition, we have 12% of the revenue going to the B&B reward pool. And then the rest is effectively going to the project to allow us to kind of continue marketing and continue developing. So it's hugely complementary to the ecosystem, because the rewards we're distributing are our 2 tokens. So there's going to be a huge amount of buy pressure on those tokens. But we're also looking at how this new project can support the entire ecosystem. That's something that we've put a huge amount of work into. So an example of that is that you can swap your HODL X or your HODL tokens for Gem Fighter NFTs. We're actually looking at launching staking pools as well. And one of the staking pool concepts that we're going to be launching soon is that you can stake your Gem Fighter NFTs to earn, for example, HODL hands. Along with all of this, we're going to be launching play-to-earn mini games. So this game here, this Gem Fighter game, is like a massive studio scale game. Like I can't get across to you guys like how big this game is and how incredibly smart Marius is as a game developer and what's gone into it, because this is something I would expect a huge team to deliver, but Marius has really worked his arse off to build this thing, and it's pretty genius how he's done it. So I'm looking forward to him explaining that. But we're going to have this huge studio scale game that then comes with this highly affordable NFT range of absolutely stunning gemstone trading card artwork. So we're going to put that live. While on that note of putting it live, I'm actually going to, bear with me 1 second. I'm actually going to put it live now for you guys on the HODL X platform, because we promised you that when we put this live, we're going to do a special promotion for the people that can make the AMA. So obviously we'll record it as well. But if you're able to make the AMA, then you're actually able to access these NFTs for around 50% off. So give me 1 second, and I'll just push that live. Here we go. So I'm going to share this in the group. Okay, that is now live. I'm just going to quickly fire out a message. So the standard price of the Gem Fighter NFTs is $35. The benefits are that you can use your gemstone in the upcoming play to earn game we have. So you'll actually be able to socket the gemstone into your spaceship and take on these space-based battles. The objective of the game is survival. The longer you survive and the more enemies you destroy, the more you score. The more you score, the more you earn. The earnings come from the HODL and HODLX buybacks, which is a very generous 50%. So we're projected to earn about $1.5 million from the NFT sales. So $750,000 of token buybacks is obviously an incredibly attractive sum of money. And that's before any further growth in the price from the other aspects of the project. Along with that, we're going to add utility like staking, plus things like you being able to swap tokens for these NFTs. So they're going to be, I think, a really popular NFT at a really smart price point. They're minted blind, so I'm going to share the link. Gem Fighter NFTs now live. I'm going to put it in the announcement. Get close to 50% off for the length of the AMA. There you go. I've just pushed that out. So you'll be able to go to the website and you'll be able to mint your NFTs. I'm also going to share a link to the, we've set up a number of things with this. So we've got a Twitter page, sorry, or an X page that will actually present all of the NFTs as they get minted. We've also got a Telegram group that will present all of the NFTs as they get minted. It's a bit of a lottery. So there's, if you go to the website, Gem Fighter NFTs section, you'll actually see how it works. There's a pack there that explains how it works and the probabilities of what you're going to be effectively generating. But basically, you mint them blind. You could get a really rare NFT. Obviously, there's a luck aspect to that, and you can see how it produces those. So how it works in the game is that you have the gemstones and you have 8 different elements. So you have earth, ice, fire, thunder, darkness, light, etc., like classic elements. So every single stone that gets minted has one of these elements. And then we've used, if you're familiar, if anyone's bought diamonds, the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, uses a method of grading called the 4 C's, which is carat, cut, clarity, and color. So we use a similar model in our NFTs, and then we assign like a probability for each of the NFTs to be minted with those different attributes. So as I say, for while the AMA is on, we're going to be running at just $20 per NFT instead of the usual $35. One other thing to mention with these NFTs is that every single time one of these NFTs gets minted, because Marius came up with a concept. In fact, Marius, do you want to explain this concept? What I can tell you, just before you explain the concept and why we did it, is that every time an NFT gets minted, the price of the next NFT goes up by 1/10 of a cent. Marius, do you want to just explain sort of the concept behind that, why we did that?
Of course, I can explain it. Just imagine the real world. Imagine that you are on the planet and we are not yet in the state where we can travel to other planets. So if you're going to mine gemstones, basically, the first thing is that you start mining them and you can mine them on the surface. But sooner or later, everyone has mined all the gemstones which are easily obtainable. So in order to get additional gemstones, you would have to mine deeper and deeper until you reach depths where it's getting really hard to mine. So in order to simulate this price model, it's a system we have introduced that whenever a gemstone is minted, basically, that the next gemstone will get a little bit more expensive. So over time, basically, the more gemstones which are minted over time, the more expensive they get. So those which buy early are always in an advantage, because they are finding the gemstones first, and who comes first serves first. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's a really cool concept that ties in with these being gemstones. What that means materially is that they will start at $35 a piece, and then they will eventually scale to around $85 a piece. This is a collection of 50,000 gemstones. Bear in mind that the way we've set up the game is that your spaceship, every time you start a level, if you're familiar with games like Halo or Gears of War or Call of Duty, when you enter a level, you basically have to decide how you want to socket the gemstones into your spaceship. It's really cool. So you'll be able to connect your wallet, you'll see the gemstones that you're holding, and you'll be able to socket them into your spaceship and take on the level ahead of you. And then once you get to the end of that level, you travel through, you destroy all the enemy ships, you survive, you use your power-ups, you collect more but as you're going through, basically when you get to the end of each level, there's a boss for you to destroy, then you move on to the next, you're teleported to the next level. So that's how it works. The other thing I want to mention is that these with the gemstones, you're actually going to be able to each of them we've created as a 3D model. So when you're looking at them generate, you can see people are minting them in the group. There's been quite a few minted already. I'm going to share another one that's just come out that looks really smart. They're actually 3D. So we created a technology to generate, or Marius did, to generate these gemstones. It's pretty crazy. So basically how that works is that we've not designed these gemstones, we've created the environment in which the gemstones get generated. So they're what's called procedurally generated, which is a pretty cool technology. It's kind of mathematical generation rather than, say, designing each gemstone. So gemstones might have, for example, imperfections, and they're generated by this system. So every gemstone's unique. Every gemstone carries the elemental power it's got. So if it's lightning, you'll see lightning bolts flickering inside the gemstone. The darkness has this beautiful purple effect, and then you see like this cloud of darkness inside of it. We've kind of created these environments, and then the system generates every single gemstone uniquely. And the actual NFTs themselves are like really awesome looking trading cards. And if you view them, and we're going to create a viewer as well, but if you view them, for example, in your Trust wallet and you click through, you'll actually see the gemstones spin in this perfect 360-degree rotation, and it really looks beautiful. I actually don't think, and it'll be interesting to get feedback on this, but I don't think anyone's created a technology like that to present gemstones. So really innovative, and at this price point, and with the incredible game that Marius has built behind it, I really think we're onto something extraordinary here. And this isn't just going to benefit the people who play the game. This isn't just an opportunity for the people in the game. The amount of buybacks and revenue that we believe we can generate from this is going to be an absolute game changer for our entire ecosystem. So, Marius, do you want to? Would you be happy to screen share, perhaps show a little bit of the game, perhaps, or discuss kind of like what the one thing I really want you to explain to everybody is the concept of procedural generation, and why that's actually a really powerful thing for in game development, if that's all right.
All right. For screen share, I need to open up Unity, but let me explain in between until it's open. Basically, yeah, procedural generation means that the level you are playing is randomly generated. The enemy placement, the wall placement, and even the bosses, they are generated procedurally. So which means that whenever you're entering a level, the level looks different. I think the most famous example would be Diablo 1, 2, 3, and 4, also Path of Exile. So there, the level is always built procedurally and it's always different, and you will never encounter the same level twice. That the placement is always different, so you can never be 100% sure that that you will be able to beat the next level, basically, because there could be surprises. Some elements are very rarely introduced, and if you are lucky, you get easy enemies. If you have a bad luck, then maybe enemies are placed in a way that the level gets more difficult than usual. This is just the randomness of procedural generation. So you can never be sure that the next level will be as easy as the previous level, and you always have to be ready for unexpected behavior. So you always have to be aware of your environment, and this means that you have to be able to focus on your play style. You have to improve your skill in order to survive longer, and this is what actually should be when it's coming to play to earn. Basically, the skill you have as a player should count, and not some random luck or if you have the most expensive NFT for a shoe or whatever. So only the skill should count, and the gemstones are what are required in order to be able to play. But it's also possible, if you have enough skill, basically, that you could also actually theoretically survive long enough without using any gemstone at all, basically. But it's up to the player. If you don't have the skill, then it's not someone else's fault. It's just the fault of the player. And this is what we want to have, basically. In the end, the skill should count, and not some strategy or some card game. And so now let me see. I think I can share the screen now. I can show you some stuff now. How can I do, Adam? How can I do that?
I might need to make you Adam, but I think just because we probably want to move on to the questions soon. I think you've explained it well. So let's share some videos.
I can post screens. I think I can
also post stuff in the group. I'm going to allow the chat to open again, because I think it will show all the NFTs that have been minted and people can discuss that. But I think one of the things that I really love about this, and the reason we've focused and invested so heavily into play to earn, is that I really believe it's the future. I really believe that it's play to earn is far more powerful than traditional gaming. What's really cool about Gem Fighter is that just simply by visiting the website, anyone in the world can play the game for free. And by nature, anyone in the world can go and play that game, score well, and earn money for free. But if you want an advantage, if you want to give yourself a better chance of scoring higher and earning more money, then you can mint these trading card NFTs. So I think that's a really awesome concept, that we're allowing anybody in the world the ability to play it without access. You don't have to sign up. You just simply visit the website. You can earn gemstones in the game and play them while you're playing the game. Obviously, when you leave the game, you've lost them. But for people who want to give themselves a bit more of a chance, you can collect these stunning gemstone NFTs and boost your ability, boost your chances of scoring higher. So I think that's a perfect balance, a perfect combination. Plus the NFTs look great, and we're going to make it possible for you to be able to stake them as well. So for me, this is such a better way forward than just, say, buying a game. Even games now, like for example FIFA or FC, they call it now, with the football games, the soccer games, you can buy in-game packs, but if you stop playing that game, they're absolutely worthless. However, with our game, if you stop playing it and you're not going to play it again, let's say, then you can trade your NFTs on the secondary marketplace. And for me, that seems to be so much more logical. It also makes gaming more fun. The fact that you're not just competing to get a good score, you're competing to get a good score with the added benefit of that good score could earn you a ton of money. You know, somebody might be able to earn thousands of dollars of tokens that have the capacity to be worth a hell of a lot more in the future. You know, it literally, for some people, if they perform well enough in this game, it could be life-changing for them. So I truly believe in the concept of play to earn gaming, and I believe that it will become mainstream. The way we're doing it, the way we're going to be developing our app, is going to make it more accessible. You know, we're going to make sure that people can buy these NFTs with fiat or trade in their tokens, which is also a smart way to reduce sell pressure on HODL and HODL X. So we're going to make it super simple for people to engage with this. At the moment, you just visit a website link and you can play the game. In the future, we'll probably make it a download, and then in the future, you'll probably be able to play it on consoles like Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and download it from the Stream Store. And one thing that we're really excited about, and Marius is going to be driving, our goal is that we're going to release a new level every month. So through a combination of releasing a new level every month, plus procedural generation, which means every single time you play it, the experience is 100% unique. We really feel we're onto something quite magical with this game and these NFTs. So we as a project have backed heavily play to earn as a concept, because we believe that that's the future. More and more people are engaging with play to earn. More and more people are engaging with gaming, in fact. So we think it's got a lot of potential ahead. And I couldn't be prouder of the team and the design team and Marius's efforts to put together a really spectacular NFT range and a quite incredible game too. So I'm going to open it up now. If anyone has any questions. There is a lot to digest, so we're going to be sharing information about the game, about the NFTs, and all and everything in between, and how the contract works, because we've built a really truly awesome smart contract for this as well that has a ton of really awesome functionality. But I think now's a good time to open up the floor. If we could initially kind of keep the questions focused on this announcement and what we're doing here, that would be appreciated. But if anyone's got any questions, raise your hand and I'll unmute you, and you can fire away. Or if you can, just unmute yourself and go ahead if you've got any questions. Don't be shy, guys. Who's got a question? And if you don't have a question about Gem Fighter, by the way, then okay, no problem. Ask any question you want about what we're doing with HODL as a whole, or any part of our ecosystem. And I see Ken, have you minted some NFTs, Ken?
One BNB worth on one account and 2 BNB worth on my.
I'm can't hear you, mate. I don't know. Are you near the mic?
Sorry, I said I did 1 BNB worth on one account and 2 BNB worth on my main account. So I think like 55 of them I bought.
Wow. And did it all work okay? Any issues? Everything went smoothly?
Yeah. As far as I know, everything went extremely well.
Great stuff. Yeah, so I'm just about to share a post as well that's going to have links to the deck, the kind of that explains the concept of the NFTs, and links to the websites, links to where you can mint them, and also to a group that we've set up so you can see them all fly in as they mint. Marius, is there anything you want to add about the game or anything?
Yeah, basically, if for your information about the platform, basically we aim to release the platform on PC, and at the second we are going to release on Mac also. So the target platform will be basically at first PC and Mac, and maybe later in the future we are maybe also targeting consoles. But this is a long-term goal that maybe we can target PS5 or even the Nintendo Switch. But first we have to be able to get it smoothly going on Windows. And we decided to get away from browser-based functionality, because on Windows I have much more functionality regarding performance optimization. I can do much more than what is possible on the browser, and also the amount of memory you are able to allocate on the browser is quite limited, and the memory is important for procedural generated content, because the game itself may be small, but after the content is generated, basically the content itself takes up memory, and the browser doesn't support that. So in order for me to work more freely, we have made the decision to get away from browser-based game as a browser as a platform. We only target the web browser as platform for the smaller games. For example, Moonshot. Moonshot will be our first testing ground for the play-to-earn environment, as the system for play-to-earn must be generated in a very delicate manner, because you have to take care about all kind of things which could happen, basically. And especially a play-to-earn environment, it requires the maximum amount of security possible. And in order to be able to do that, we are now working really a lot in order to get that play-to-earn environment set up. And also thanks to Dr. Grumpy for implementing all the REST API. He's not here right now, but if you have questions regarding the play-to-earn environment itself, you can also direct them to either to me or Julek, Grumpy, and Adam. You can also forward them to us, basically. So it's really nice that I'm able to do game development in a fashion how I really like it, because I worked as an employee in other companies as game developer, and the companies were always quite restrictive, especially when it comes to the game mechanics itself. And what we are doing here now is we are really trying to implement something new, which is quite unusual in game development. And I can tell you, I play Dark Souls, I like Dark Souls, and I like challenging games. And so that means that the game, Gem Fighter, it will be tough. So there is no whining. You get punished. Every mistake you make will get punished. It's simple as that. There is no hand holding the player like it is used now in modern. We are used now in modern games. I come from the old ages of games of the famous SNES games, where if you make mistakes, the game is over, no? Game over is it's how it's called. And no, yeah, it's fine. You will get a participation trophy. No, if you don't have the skill, you won't earn. It's simple as that. In the real life, you also get nothing for free. It's simple as that. And why should this be different in a game? So, and this is what I like, basically. A game where you really have to improve, where you have to put in the effort in order to get your skills, learn how the game works, learn the game mechanics. It's also not forbidden to work together as a team, figure out strategies in order to beat bosses. This is also totally fine. And this is what I want to realize. And with a procedurally generated system, we are able to regularly increase the game, improve the game, add new levels, add new bosses, new gameplay features. And so my goal is that Gem Fighter will be a long-term game, which gives us an opportunity to express ourselves, we can put in creative work in order to create a fantastic game where you not only have fun. It is sure such game will be frustrating sometimes if the boss is hard, if the boss is difficult. It's frustrating, but it's really an amazing feeling if you beat a difficult boss for the first time after a long struggle. It's really something you cannot explain it to words. If you beat the boss the first time, then it's boring. But if you really had put in effort and you finally beat that boss, it's a really great feeling. And this is what we want to achieve. And Gem Fighter is creating the best foundation in order to be able to do that.
Yeah, it really is. Like the game is in beta, but I can't stop playing it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm involved in it. Like I found myself playing it, at a time when I'm not working. I'm just kind of like chilling out in front of the TV. Like it is a really awesome game. Because the way you play it is you kind of activate your shield to kind of defend your spaceship. And what's really cool is that the gemstones you mint. You might have, say, a water gemstone or a fire gemstone that's for your shield, for your defense, and therefore Marius has created it so every element, if it's, say, a shield and it's fire, then you'll have like a fire-based shield. And then depending on the rarity of the individual gemstone you've minted, that will kind of determine how powerful that power up is. So if you mint a really rare, say, attacking lightning gemstone, then the projectiles that your spaceship will be firing will have extra powers versus, say, a common version of that particular gemstone and that element. So I think these are going to become so popular and so attractive, because what you can't really see in the group is how awesome. And I'll share a video, so if anyone can see, I'll put up a video of one of these gemstones in its video format, so you can actually see the art and how it looks when you view it, say, on Trust Wallet or on one of these galleries like OpenSea, etc. The gemstone is actually a 3D model video. So we couldn't make it so that every time a gemstone's minted, it's a 3D video, because that's like 14 megabytes per image that would be generated in the group. But I've just put now, unless people start minting more, the video. So if you guys on the call can see that, it's the purple, which would indicate the rarity. That's like the rarest gemstone. In the top left, you can see the little flame icon. So the element is fire, or the color is fire. In the top right, you can see that it's a spell gemstone, because you have like that sort of spell sparkle effect. Carat, this is the highest carat level. That's 1.25. color is again the fire. So you can see inside the gemstone the fire, and you can see how it flickers as the gemstone rotates. That is all using a 3D modeling and procedural generation. Not so easy to explain, but pretty awesome. And then you can see as well the clarity. So we actually created, if you're familiar with gemstones, in diamonds, for example, you get inclusions, which can be different types of material that are inside the stone that are like little imperfections. The video example I've shared there is flawless, but on the gemstones where there's little cracks or feathering or little inclusions, we created a system that actually generates these small imperfections within each gemstone if that NFT has those imperfections. Obviously, a flawless gemstone is flawless. There's absolutely no inclusions inside the stone, but it's pretty cool that we've created a technology that actually generates these little small imperfections inside the stones that you can see if you kind of look at it. And then the cut, that's to do with like basically how light bounces in the stone and out the stone, and the kind of brilliance of light that stone generates. You can see like a scale on the trading card, excellent being like the perfect cut of gemstone down to pour. So if anyone's bought an engagement ring, for example, you will have had to go through this process. You'll have had to decide, okay, do you want a higher carat? Do you want a higher color? Do you want a higher band of clarity? And you have to make sacrifices, because we can't all get like a 2-carat flawless, perfect cut, perfect color diamond, for example. That would cost insane money. So you have to kind of start making decisions. And so we wanted to mirror how that works in the real world for these gemstones. And as I say, the example I've just showed there shows you how awesome they look when they're spinning, and you can see the fall-in NFT. So anyone that's minted it, you'll be able to look at your NFTs like that. You can see the element. The thing in the top right indicates whether it's either attack, a spell, or defense. And then you can see how the stone is graded, and that will determine the rarity. So yeah, I hope that all makes sense. I hope you guys like what we've done here, but I absolutely love it. I'm really proud of what the team have done. I think it looks awesome. And I really, really believe this is going to have a huge impact on the entire ecosystem, because it has the capacity to bring in millions of dollars, based on selling out and based on, how the NFTs will go up 1/10 of a cent upon every mint until they reach about $85 a piece. So make sure you take advantage of the fact that you're able to get these for just $20 before we finish this AMA. Because they'll be going back to $35 soon, and then they'll start creeping up in price as more get minted. It's an absolute bargain for a truly stunning NFT that you'll be able to really enjoy and plug into your spaceship and play the game, and hopefully earn some more tokens. So yeah, I'm going to open it up. We did say that if anybody's got any questions, we're going to distribute 3 NFTs for people that have got questions. So now's your chance if you want to pop in a question and earn an NFT. If you've got any questions about anything to do with HODL, then that's also something we're happy to take questions on. It can be totally unrelated to Gem Fighter. So let's open up the floor and see if anyone has a question.
Hello, I have a question.
Hello, mate. You're right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You okay?
All right, right on. Just a couple things. Yeah, thanks a lot for the AMA and all the work. And Marius is looking really awesome. Just a couple questions. One, so in the spaceship, you can plug in 3 NFTs. Is that correct?
Let me share I'll actually share that in the group. So it's 4.
4. Okay, cool.
You can socket 2 spells.
Right.
Your attack, which is like the projectiles that you fire, and your defense, which is like the shields. So let me just quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the. Marius has actually built this. We're doing a little bit more work on the how the spaceship looks, but I can actually show you the design if you give me 1 second. But yeah, the
So-
idea is initially there's going to be like I think it's 4 levels initially, and you can kind of keep cycling back through them. And what's quite cool is every time you play a level, it will be completely different because it's generated using like an algorithm. So go on.
Oh, so I guess my question is if you bought 4 NFTs, would you be able to socket each of those 4 for sure, or the different sockets? Like you may not be able to socket all 4 in the same.
Yeah. So if
I've
just shared a screenshot.
Okay, I'm opening.
So before you start a level, your spaceship will be on the screen. You can see how it looks. I think it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
Then there's and obviously you have to connect your wallet because that's how we're going to know what NFTs you're holding.
Of course.
You can see at the front of the ship you've got the attack socket.
Okay.
Which is the that's the square stones. Is that right, Marius? Is Marius
It looks
there?
like they're
Yes.
more like hexagonal.
Yeah, I'll have to check that because it might be the designers did that slightly different. But I know that the spell stones, for example, you can see the 2 to the rear, a triangle, or I think they're called a princess or trillion. And then you can see the defensive socket is the round stone. So that might it might be slightly different. And what you'll see on the NFT trading cards is it tells you in the top left. So if you look at the one that was last minted, right? If you look at the one that was last minted, you can see that it's got the shield, the white shield. It's like a wind. That means that basically that's a square one, so it'll be square in the actual game. So that means basically you can socket that as your defensive power.
Right on. So I see how it's working. So in theory, like I could mint 4 right now, but they could all be attack NFTs. So I like that. I mean, I like that conceptually was a community. Like, let's say I buy 10 and I got 10 attack, and somebody else has 10 defense. We can trade them with each other, and so that you could have it.
That's why we've made them as trading cards, because that is literally like the idea that you can kind of go.
Okay, cool. No, I'm just wrapping my head around the whole concept. It's great. It's really like there's many layers to it, so I really like that.
Yeah, let me just share another thing which I think is really important, and this is kind of like something we can kind of geek out on because. So if you see the screenshot I've just shared, you can actually see the probabilities.
Right.
So so the shape determines whether it's a triangular, square, or round gemstone.
Got you.
Okay, so triangular is spells. So spells are rarer.
Rarer. Okay.
So 20% of the NFTs will be a spell. 35% will be square, which is a shield, which is your shield. And 45% are attack, your projectiles. So that's the first thing it will do. Now, what's really cool, the way we've built these NFTs is we do not know what's coming. Like, and we have no control over that. It just purely works on these probabilities. So it will do that. It does that bit first. Then it will determine, okay, right, next you have the color, which is the element. So that's the earth, wind, ice, fire, thunder, water, light, and darkness. And they're all evenly weighted.
Okay.
Then you have clarity, flawless, down to inclusion. Inclusion is when there's a visible imperfection inside the stone. Small inclusion, very small inclusion, very, very small inclusion, and flawless is the rarest at 5%. Then you have the carat. So that scales from 0.75 carat to 1.25 carat.
Okay.
And then the cut. So it goes from poor through to excellent. So if you actually do the maths, I think in a range of 50,000 NFTs, you might have like something like half a dozen that will be like perfect, excellent cut, the highest carat, the highest clarity, flawless, massive, perfect cut.
Got it.
Spell, for example. That will be like, the hardest thing to get. So they're going to be super valuable. But what's really cool is if I socket a stone that's really rare, say, for example, with my projectiles, Marius has created it so that it might fire, say, 3 projectiles instead of 1. if it's rare versus common, or your shield might have 5 layers instead of 1, or 3 layers instead of 1, or whatever, depending on where it sits on the scale. So it really impacts. And actually what's really cool is that you see your actual gemstone in the game when you socket it. So you're bringing your NFTs into the game.
Awesome. And just, I think I know the answer, but just to clarify, you can play with all sockets empty or one socket full or all sockets full. It's not.
Yeah, like somebody could just rock up to the website, invest nothing, play with no gemstones socketed, but gain gemstones in the game and use them in the game and score well and land on the leaderboard. And then what we're going to do is we're aiming to release a new level every month, and every time we release a level, we'll reset the scoreboard.
Great.
So like over 3 years, we should get to having 40 levels. And at the moment, it's things like, okay, there's a cave level, there's like a futuristic level. You know, you could do things like a crypto level, or you could do like lava, and you name it, endless possibilities. And this is why the game can just continually evolve.
Cool. Awesome. And my only other question was, I know the new, like, there's only one staking pool for NFTs as of now for HODL hands, and that ends in a couple of weeks. Is there going to be like a way to earn these? Like, is it possible to have a pool where you could stake your HODL hands to earn one of these Gem Fighter? I'm just trying to think of a, anyway, that's my other question.
That's probably one of the first pools we want to launch, and we will still do the token pools, and we'll also do occasional token pools for these gemstone NFTs. But you know, with them being, you know, the fact that you can pick one up now for $20, like there's only so much there's only so much we can give away, you know, because $20.
I meant more of an incentive to keep people minting the HODL hands, you know, that you sort of, you know, you mint a couple HODL hands, or you mint 10, and after 3 months you have a Gem Fighter on top of it or something, you know, something like that. So just a way to keep that buy pressure on the HODL hands going, because those are great. And I just don't want to lose the momentum we have with those now that we're almost minted 50% of them. I think it'll pick up more. So
on that, yes, we're going to make it so that you can stake your HODL hands to earn Gem Fighter NFTs, which I'm really looking forward to. I've not really seen that, where you can stake NFTs to earn other NFTs. I've not seen that, so I think that's quite cool.
And then both the NFTs would also have a utility beyond that is pretty cool. It's, you know, it's sort of like just opening up new markets for something. If you think of each one as a token that now has a new market for itself, and the more layers of markets that you have, obviously the more people will have access to it. So it's, that's all great. So well, thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. Pleasure. And just on that as well, like, because that is something you've hit the nail on the head. Like, these aren't disparate projects. Like, we can, like with HODL hands, which, by the way, you know, we're still 110% focused on. Like, we are a all parts of the ecosystem. You know, the HODL hands, we're now setting it up so that they will have in-game utility on the upcoming poker. So cool. You'll be able to. So only people who have HODL hands will be able to use HODL hands as their kind of game avatars, and that will unlock that when they sit at the table, they can kind of have like a bottle of whiskey at the table or a bottle of wine. You know, that's just a bit of fun and to kind of give them a bit more status. But the other utility that kind of has a monetary aspect to it is that the fees people pay for when they use the cashier, i.e., they convert crypto into credit to play poker, or equally they convert credit into crypto to cash out. The fees on that, the idea is that that HODL hands, depending on how many you hold, you'll get like a discounted fee. You use the cashier. So that's coming. And then with the Gem Fighter NFTs, like with HODL hands, we've built it in so that with more functionality, actually, the contract's so awesome that we've created for this. We can do promotions on and we've actually set it up so now people can swap HODL and HODL token for Gem Fighter NFTs. But we've done it differently because with the HODL hands, we have to kind of put BNB into the contract, and it's a bit of a pain. And you have to kind of keep moving around. But the way we've built this contract for Gem Fighter is people can straight swap the USD value of HODL or HODL for Gem Fighter NFTs, and then we can flex and bend all aspects of it. So we can do a promotion on HODL, we can do a promotion on HODL, we can do a promotion on USD, and anywhere in between. So the sort of interlink between all of this stuff that we've built is just going to get stronger and stronger. But what I think is truly monumental about what's happened today is that we're releasing a really quality game that's going to generate serious revenue for our ecosystem.
Awesome, man. I'm really excited. One other thing just regarding the pools is do you think staking, in the past there was pools to stake to earn HODL? Do you think that's sort of a thing of the past, or will that be something that might be implemented in the future again, this staking NFTs to earn actual HODL, or do you think it'll all be in the HODL X?
Well, we've always tried to be generous with like the rewards we've given on
certainly
staking.
Have, so I appreciate it.
yeah, you know, but there's a trade-off because sometimes when I kind of like the most recent pool, for example, has been less generous than previously, and it's not because that's how it's going to be going forward.
Right.
We just have to balance like the value of tokens. You know, if we give away too much, it's actually counterproductive and dangerous.
Well, and especially in a bull, as a bull market picks up, it's too much.
Exactly. So we've got to constantly find that sweet spot. But again, what's unique about what we've launched today with Gem Fighter is that we'll be able to use a percentage of the revenue from the NFT sales, which could be over $2 million.
Right.
For tokens for the staking pools, because the rewards people are going to get from playing our games, mini games, Gem Fighter, and staking will be HODL and HODL X. But these are going to start increasingly coming from revenue rather than, you know, what we're effectively giving away.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And what's up to all the hodlers in here, and hope you all have a great day, and looking forward to it. Let's keep it.
Yeah, and thanks for all this support, mate. I really appreciate it. You've been an awesome part of the community. You know, thank you. Anyone else got a question? And then, like I say, guys, if you've got a question about the HODL ecosystem as a whole or anything, just let us know. It doesn't have to be to do with Gem Fighter. We're going to start picking up the AMAs. Like, obviously, we've been through a pretty horrendous bear market. We've worked incredibly hard to kind of keep building, and I think it's all going to start coming together. Hopefully, we're going to have in the next week or two the iOS version of the HODL app go live as well, which will be another big step. But I think now we've got a pretty awesome interlinking ecosystem that's now really going to start standing further on its own 2 feet when it comes to revenue generation and sustainability. But yeah, if you've got any questions to do with any part of that, just raise your hand or unmute yourself. And as I said, you'll just won an NFT for his question. So Ada, you go ahead, mate.
Hello, Adam. Hello, guys.
Hello,
so my question is, what is the difference between selling all the gem NFTs and having a $1 million or $2 million volume per day?
Well, I don't think I don't think they have to be. Obviously, we want both. That's ultimately the goal. And I think what you know, one of the challenges we've got right now is where's $1 million a day of volume going to come from? Because I think the reality is with crypto, and one of the big problems I have is that people who want to build something amazing, you know, a really amazing ecosystem, it's not easy, because unfortunately the majority of people in crypto, they want to engage in pink sale or a pre-sale. ride the initial pump, then dump, make a profit, forget about that project, move to the next one. And, you know, that's never been our goal here. You know, the way we're building this ecosystem over the last 3 years, it's something that we want to carry on building for the next 300. So to answer your question, I believe that when we start to introduce these revenue generative aspects to our ecosystem that are putting, say, for example, in this case, you know, we've sold, I don't know, around a couple of hundred or whatever it is, NFTs during this AMA. 12% of all that revenue will go to the B&B pool. So by growing that B&B pool, by bringing out new revenue streams, people who want to invest in a token and gain access to that B&B pool are going to see it grow. They're going to see it become more sustainable, and they'll see an inflow of revenue rather than it being overly reliant on volume. So the big difference between, or the big benefit, I suppose, between things like HODL Hands and the Gem Fighter NFTs, and how that they are leaning into the games that we're creating that generate their own revenue, is that they're a great way to stimulate interest in our project, because they're bringing a revenue stream directly to our audience, which in turn will attract people because they'll be able to see things like the reward pool grow. So you have to be careful. One of the biggest challenges with a token that has a tax is if you're solely reliant on volume, how do you get that volume back after you've had that initial pump and dump? Because the pool drops, the rewards drop. How do we get it back? I believe by introducing these revenue streams and growing the pool organically through innovation, that actually that will attract people, which will bring the volume. So it's kind of like bringing another way of attacking how we're going to rebuild our pool to the levels that we've seen previously. I think the record was 10,000 B&B. You know, we've created such an awesome game that I think that can naturally grow our pool. And even if we have zero volume, we're going to have a decent reward pool. But I think in having that, that will attract volume, which will also increase the pool. So I think the two work together. But the other thing that answers your question, I think, is the fact that a higher percentage of the revenue from these NFTs can be directed into things that help grow the project. So it's like, unlike, say, when people buy tokens and, you know, 4% goes to the B&B pool, 1% goes out as reflections, you know, with these NFT sales, 50% of that revenue goes on the chart for HODL and HODL X. 12% goes straight to the pool. So the revenue that comes to the NFTs, in terms of the ratios, it's more aggressive in terms of how it affects the project. So for me, having both is one of the big things that sets us aside from projects that are solely reliant on the tokenomics and their taxes to create their rewards. You know, we've seen that. We went to 230 million market cap with the initial pump. You know, people have stayed with us and they've got rewards for the last 2.5 years. And now those people are able to see what happens in the next bull run, and that volume comes back in and liquidity comes back into crypto. People take profits from Bitcoin and other things, and they look for the next big thing and bring it down into the lower parts of the market where there's the smaller caps. That's going to naturally come, but this time it's going to be supported by revenue from poker, NFTs, and things like merchandise. So for me, we're playing a different game now, a more adult, a more business-minded kind of attack on how we can grow our pool with these multiple revenue streams. Does that answer your question?
Thank you very much for your answer, Randa.
Pleasure, and thank you as well, mate. You've been a great
have a great night
part of our community. Thanks, buddy. Does anybody else have a question? Okay, right, guys. Well, look, thank you for coming, and we've recorded this because there's a lot of people who all around the world. We've got 27,000 holders just on HODL alone. So we're going to share this information. There's going to be a massive effort over the coming days, weeks, and months to really promote and educate people on what we're doing here. We've massively been in build mode during the bear market, and now as we head into the bull run with all this awesome stuff that we've created, these awesome tools, games, things like the app, you know, and making it easy for people to kind of enter our ecosystem, we're now gearing up towards a process of, right, well, we need to now go out and tell as many people as we can about what we're doing here. So thank you all for your support. We have an awesome community that stuck with us through the last 2.5 years. In the last, I think it's we've been in a bear market for about 2 years. So thank you for that support. You know, we've kept going and we're going to keep going for as long as it takes. But yeah, over the coming weeks and months, we're really going to start making some noise about all that we've created here. The app, hopefully, will be live on the iOS store pretty soon. It's been a really difficult journey. They have so many rules. They're not the easiest to deal with, and they're not the clearest in terms of, you know, what they need you to do. But we've been working with Apple now for about 2 months on getting the app live, and as soon as that's live, you know, we can go full tilt with promoting the app, along with things like Gem Fighter and all the other awesome stuff in our ecosystem. So yeah, it's been a pretty crazy journey, been a pretty crazy bear market. But I think we've done pretty well in terms of like creating a pretty awesome ecosystem, and now it's time to really go and push this thing and create awareness. So thanks for all your support. Keep helping us, you know, making people aware, educating them about what we're doing here, and yeah, let's really enjoy the journey ahead as we enter this bull run. So unless there's any more questions, I'm going to give it one more chance for anyone to ask a question if you haven't already. We're going to end the call there. Great stuff. Thanks, everybody. Take care, and we'll speak again soon. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.